Right, let's get straight to the point here. This is the all-new Classic 350 and we're here to ask a few essential questions. Is it really brand new? Is it a worthy successor to the older Classic 350? Or is it just a Meteor with a different riding position and new body panels? Well, the need to ask these questions is simple. You see, this is a very important bike for Royal Enfield and we have to find out if it's just another page out of the long history book or is it the beginning of a new chapter altogether. Before we do that, don't forget to subscribe to the Top Gear Mag India channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of all upcoming videos. For now, it's classic time. Now I do agree, to an untrained eye, it may not look all that different from the older Classic 350, but trust me, Royal Enfield has put in quite a bit of effort into improving this new one. Take for example the seats, which are now wider. The tail lamp design is brand new, both tires are wider and the front and rear disc brakes are bigger as well. The exhaust design has also been changed and the Classic 350 now comes with a twin down tube spine frame. Then there's a new head and pilot lamp design, integrated ignition and steering lock, mercifully, and a tiny LCD readout for info like how much fuel your Classic 350 has. Now, if you do opt for the top-end chrome red variant like we have, you also get Royal Enfield's stripper system. Along with that, the Classic now gets bigger 41mm dia front forks, there's extra 10mm of travel at the rear, and the fuel tank is 13 litres. Oh, and lest we forget, there is no more kickstart on the Classic 350. Speaking of which, this all-new Classic 350 is now powered by a 349cc single-cylinder J-series motor which produces 20.2 bhp and 27 Nm of torque. Now that's quite similar to the Meteor, but RE has calibrated the fueling and ignition to better suit the needs of a classic rider. But let's make this all very simple. The frame, the swing arm, the brakes and the switches on the handlebar are identical to the Meteor. But everything you see apart from that is pretty much specific to this brand new motorcycle. Another prominent change is the fact that the handlebar has been moved slightly forward in comparison to the older Classic 350, of course, for better weight distribution. Now in theory, that should make this a more able handler than before. Only one way to find out, I guess. Now, before we get to riding the all-new Classic 350, why don't you be the judge of what it sounds like? Does it still have that iconic thump that so many have adored? Let us know in the comment section below. The first thing you'll notice on the move are the seamless gear shifts and smooth throttle response. This new Classic 350 surges ahead with confidence, with significantly reduced vibrations. Sure, it's not as torquey as the cast iron or UCE engines, but there's a good reservoir power whenever needed. The repositioned handlebar also results in a more agile motorcycle than before, although there are a few complaints. The tires do lack a certain amount of grip, especially in wet weather conditions. Another area of concern is the lack of bite from those bigger discs. Don't get me wrong, they do work of course, but the bite point is something that's slightly hard to get right. However, the riding position is comfortable and upright, which makes this motorcycle a breeze to run about in town. And another area of complaint is that the mirrors shake quite violently if you're in a higher gear and torquing it up. Since I have ridden the older Classic 350, I can say without a doubt that this is definitely a step in the right direction. Even in the ride department, things look really good. This new Classic 350 is able to soak up bad roads without a hitch, and that is due to the fact that Royal Enfield has improved the ground clearance from before. In fact, this chassis is so tractable that in one moment you'll be taking corners, while in the next you'll be cruising at 110 or 120 km per hour with relative ease. Now it must be said that while it's easy to get to 120, going beyond that can be quite a struggle. So
how does it all come together? Well, in my personal opinion, rather well. You see, we knew that RE would have to make the transition from the UCE engine at some point. First, it was the Meteor, and now the baton has been passed to the Classic 350. All those changes and improvements we spoke about earlier make this a far more capable motorcycle than before. Yes, it does come at the cost of that old school charm of the previous generation model, but do bear in mind that's a very small price to pay to ride a far more superior motorcycle. There's no question about it as far as I'm concerned. This is a whole new chapter in RE's iconic history, one that will be talked about for years to come. Well, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe, share and like, and until next time, take care.